Hey, my beautiful people, let's hit a tarot to see what the collective energy is offering. I love this deck. This is one of my favorite decks. Um, the African Goddess Rising um, by Abola Abrams. Abrams. So, since we are returning to the Great Mother, we are returning to the Divine Feminine. And when I say Divine Feminine, I'm not excusing no alphabet letters in a gender. There's only two. However, when you understand being non-binary, you are no longer physical. So I just want to clarify some things on this channel. I don't care what anyone else does on their channel, but over here we breed no confusion and we stick with what is natural, right? On the bottom it says storms. No more storms. No more. 13. We're no longer in the energy of chaos, right? So, stepping into your divine feminine, if you're a masculine, means you understand the woman. You understand the opposite polarity of yourself. That is it. You understand the softness, the beauty, the nurturing, the cultivating, right? The unity, the sensual, the sexual, the boldness, because it's a scarcity, you know, that men are honoring the divine feminine. And we're going to shout out to all the men who love and honor the woman, right? Regardless of your sexual preference, you have to understand where you came from. No matter what, y'all came out of that. So understand there's a balance. And until you men, you know, understand that balance, your pleasures, let's see, where's the camera? Your pleasures that you guys are seeking will have no end. And a true man understands there is an end to pleasure, because you'll get one baddie and then here comes another one, right? Because you guys are wounded healers. Every generation had their man and toxic ways, right? Season, grief, sacred lust, and time to speak up. So regardless of the colonial era, even though that's important, we're not going to dismay that, but the residual effects of that on our men in this country, regardless of your ethnicity, it's the fucking same, right? Men are not allowing themselves to step into the other half of themselves, which is the feminine part. You know, you can't be all testosterone, you know, and this is for all you men. You've ever been in a room where it's just so much testosterone, you're just like, if we're not gonna fight, hug, and like drink till we pass out, I'm gonna kill somebody. Too much testosterone, just like too much estrogen, is no bueno, no good, not good for business, right? So, you know, the pleasures that you all have been seeking come from a wounded space, and it's time to heal. So, understanding your divine feminine, the segment, the chaos, you need to align yourself with all those generations before you, regardless if you didn't have a father figure. It's time for you to understand who you are. You know, there's no more excuses. It's 2025 supposedly, right? So if you came from a racist background or a sheltered background or a humble beginnings background or just a affluent background, whatever background you came from, it has timed. It's expired. So we have to let go of being in control all the time, being so macho that you can't understand. It's okay to love one woman. It's okay to be honest if you're going to have multiple people in your life. Trust me, there are women, multiple women out here who welcome that in their life and have a safe space for that. But you have to be healed enough, wounded healer. You have to be healed enough to recognize what is it that I'm putting out, because guess what, you're going to receive that back, and that's what 2025 is about. That's what these videos are about. You're going to be reaping the grief and dealing with all that sacred lust because you refuse to speak up. This is for those who did the latter, who didn't do the work and understand their balance. Because you didn't speak up, you're walking into a place where you're hitting a wall. So no matter what, she was on the bottom of the deck. Ocean, generally when I see Marie Laveau, good juju, I stop. But fearless love, it's like, because you didn't have that balance and speak up about it, and you could just speak to yourself even if you didn't have a lot of people, because not everybody has people that they can call on, they can talk to. Again, we're talking about healing the hood, so this is where scarcity comes in at. There's not a lot of people around where you can look up to, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to do the work yourself, but because you failed to speak up, you're going to miss all of the great things. You know what I'm saying? You have recessed and glitch there, but you have recessed, so you're not entitled to fearless love, having great confidence no matter where you go, having great spiritual confidence that no matter what happens, everything works out for your greater good, going to good juju, knowing that no matter what I do, because I put good energy out there, it shall return. So me manifesting, no matter what I put in my head and I put out of my mouth, I surely put up under my footstep, meaning put it into action, and it shall come to pass. But because all you men who chose to go through the storms, throughout all these generations, wherever background you came from, and chose not to look at the divine feminine as yourself, etheric cords, it's no longer, things are going to be cut. You might have thought, and this is the obsidian, you got to have that around to help balance the radiation, but cutting the cords, it's going to be cut for you, because again, we're moving into the divine feminine. That's why I love these cards so much, because it's like when I just want to pull on the first, because till this day, even if you're religious or not, no one came from nobody's rib. Etymology, rib, Rabboni is teacher, so the woman is first, because we still procreate. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that you're last. No man is last, and that's another thing. A lot of men are going to be butthurt because you're not balanced. Understand, she's first, but you're equally next to her. You know what I'm saying? Before in the womb, for all those who carry that baby and all those who went with the woman to carry the baby, XX chromosome is up until what? 20 months? Or 20 weeks? 20 weeks? 20 months. 20 weeks? 4 months. So you're all females until you degenerate into a male, or degenerate. So those etheric cores, all those things that y'all been doing and getting away with, all that lying, manipulating, giving the bare minimum, or always overly doing things, getting over on people, making other people's lives miserable, horrible, not giving what you could, and so you penny push, you give the littlest, like you're a millionaire, for example, and like when we used to work at Famous Dave's, we would take the hot shot, that's the truck, to do the deliveries and things, and we'll drive to the mountains and things, and obviously this is a catering, so you've spent $500 to $2,000 already on this dinner, right? And they are the worst tippers. Like, I just drove 55 minutes to get up here, sir. I have to set all this shit up. And you mean to tell me, out of all four of us, we together got $10? Stuff like that. A third quarter. Cut. What's the cut it? Time to cut it. You know, them prices is too high. Just like y'all got away with. That's why we started doing our nails ourselves. During the recession, y'all was hiking them prices up. $150 for a full set. Huh? For both? You mean with color and design? Oh no, just for one? Okay. And now how y'all see now, y'all barely striving with y'all's businesses because people doing them at home. Doing them at home. Okay? So etheric quartz, y'all have been, just those who have not have balance, and I'm going to get to the women too. Don't even trip. But men came first. Because it's a dire need. You know, when other men see men be men, it inspires them to be a better man. Right? When they see a man who's taking care of multiple women, being honest with all those women, providing spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially for all of those women, children, whoever they bring into, it inspires him to step into his true self, regardless if that's polygamy or whatever it is, or what they call sister wives or whatever it is now. You have to be honest. So back in the 80s when we grew up, we fell in love with a man Stilo. Like, hey, kitty, kitty. I didn't care what it was. What, baby girl? I didn't care what it was. It was his stilo, how he got down, how he operated, how he moved, regardless of, you're like, oh, that white boy cute. Oh, that little Mexican cute. Oh, look at that little Chinese dude, he cute. Because how he operated, you know what I'm saying? And the same is for us, you know what I'm saying, when you're the opposite ethnicity. But time is gone, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny how etheric quartz is 9. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to get back on this camera setup, you know, but this is the first time out. It's 2 and 7. 2 and 7 equals 9. 9 is completion. 9 is the highest number. I don't care what you heard of, what you think of. You better Google Supreme Mathematics, or you better do Fibonacci frequency 369. Just the highest number is 9. So stuff has been cut. If you do not have that balance, whether you are male or female, this time, let me tell you what you're going to be stepping in. No matter what, the cards never lie. So let me just tell you, I ain't even got to keep talking. We're just going to say what the cards going to say. Celestial alignment. It's going to be destined for you to walk into boldness. Meaning you got to step on it. If you don't come to the throne boldly, as some of the Christians would say, to the word of God, you're going to be filled with rage. You know, nothing good's come from rage. Nothing good. And that's 5. And that's, again, like in the previous videos, it's about change. This year is about change. It adds up to 9, which is completion. So if you are still doing the same old things, trust me, celestial alignment, there are spiritual powers above you, around you, below you, underneath you, within you, in you, seen and unseen. If you don't come bold to facing that balance within yourself, you will be stuck in rage, you know. So understand you are worthy. To all of our Ethiopian goddesses, understand you are worthy, and you have the power to choose if you want to understand more about yourself, or you want to continue to be chauvinistic or blindsided or just one-sided to life, and you'll be missing so much life around you. And this is for also all those who are papas, who are granddads. Them grandchildren help you see life in a different life. Yes, I know they do. And if they do, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. I know they do. So go ahead and reflect. If you couldn't change yourself, try to change someone next to you. That neighbor, that young man you see every day on the bus stop, when you're coming home from work, whatever it is, try to give out that good energy. That's another way how you change. Okay, if you say you couldn't change yourself, that is how you change, because it's energy. Again, Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson, Ashe to you. You have to change first in order to change the world around you. So understand, divine masculine, we need you to understand the opposite ends of you is the divine feminine, the divine softness of yourself, the nurturing part. You can love if you choose to. So now let's go to the women. Nope, you're not holding. Nope, grab her by her hair. Nope, get over here, girl. Sit down. Okay. Um, you did not get away with this. You didn't get away, because just as you are the divine feminine, your equal opposite is the divine masculine. You have to understand that as a woman. I had to understand this too. Don't trip. We all had to. Okay, if you're going to smoke, smoke in the house where no one sees you. It's not ladylike to smoke. Watch how you talk. We are soft. Yes, there's a time to be bold and assertive, but not all the time, right? And a woman and a lady understands that. You little girls, okay, you showing your body. It depends on how you do and where you do it. We at Papa Do's, I don't want to see your pop paws and does. I don't want to see that. So if we at Boondocks, okay, do your thing. But come on, we at Olive Garden. Okay, I do not need to see your garden. Understand that what a woman is. And that's stepping into your divine masculine, having discipline, knowing when and how to pick and choose your battles. Always learn how to speak softly, even when you're mad. You could check a person without having to check a person. You heard me? You can tell a person about themselves, but sometimes without even telling them. You could just give that look, kind of like for all those who are mothers. You know how you give that little stare? What I think they call it the death stare. All I gotta do is look at you, boo. Oh, okay. You heard me. Right. So let's, women, step back into your divine feminine, understanding the balance. Understand, hey, husband, boyfriend, son, brother, I said no. I love you. Just no means no. Excuse me, we can still kick it, but someone of them something. Ain't that what always Sarah's Ruder said when they do something like, oh, somebody don't want me to talk? But we understand that, you're used to me always comforting and catering and comforting and catering and always being there, going to jail, beating somebody up, okay, doing things for you that I wouldn't do for myself, giving you too many chances after I knew the first time you didn't deserve the third chance. All of this stuff we have to stop making excuses for. It's okay to say no, honey, and that's you stepping into your divine masculine. No means no. Also to yourself. Yes. You might ain't had none, because we can be like men, we could be nymphos too, but for the most part we not. You don't have to be pressured out of your pressure box. You don't have to be pressured out of your time, your thoughts, or nothing. Be calculated. It's not saying you gotta play the game, you know what I'm saying, and do the little rat chase, but have some distance about yourself. Don't just be so readily accessible with your mind, with your body, with your thoughts, with your past. You know what I'm saying? Fill a person out. That's what men do. When they come around, they fill the room. Go ahead and fill that room. You ain't got to just be a full blown out man to fill the room. Oh no, honey. You got to fill the room. Sometimes some places is not meant for you to be in, but because you didn't fill the room, you stupid looking stupid while everybody playing you stupid. No, honey, you got to fill the room. It's okay to walk away. And be elegant about it. And even if you've been put in situations, honey, that are dire, to where you gotta shoot, stab your way out, it's be like that. But understand, you put your best foot forward, and a person made you do that. You didn't do it just on the strength. They made you do that. So, there's laws behind that, kind of like self-defense and all that other stuff, make my day and all that stuff. But no, like, just because you're feminine does not mean that you won't take it there. A mama to her cubs, oh, go ahead and try to take one of them. Go ahead and try to disturb their little peace. Oh, you gonna find out real quick. So understand, for us both, divine feminine and divine masculine, we must come together, surrender. We must surrender to all of what we thought we knew, all of who we thought we knew, all of where we thought we knew we was going to go, and step into what you know. But understand and understand everything that you do bears consequences. So either you level up with joy, feeling safe, or you do the opposite. You living out loud, but on the inside you crying. On the inside, you're not able to give and receive because you're only able to receive, or you're only able to give. Everything has to be a balance. This is what this is about. No matter what your ethnicity is, you have to stop resisting. This is the resistance. You have to stop resisting. And 22, call out for help. Like I said, even if you don't have nobody to call out to, again, this is for Healing the Hood. So this is for either those that, or whoever who can relate to the video, who can relate to the message. Remember, don't kill the messenger. Did you get the message? Right? So stop resisting. Even if you have to do it by yourself, you're being called somehow, some way to be balanced, to understand another aspect of yourself, regardless if you're breaking a generational curse, regardless if you're lifting these masks or the masks that were around you, you chose to take off. However, how the shoe fits, wear it proudly, okay? And understand, and overstand that this is your time, and only you can choose what's going to be revealed. Only you can tell those dark secrets. Only you can go deep within yourself and discover things that you never discovered before. Oh, that fell off. It flew out. I usually don't do stuff that fell off the floor, but it's a desire. So, look at your desires. Are your desires coming from TV? Or are your desires coming from your friends? What I've noticed in our community, a lot of men choose their desires based on the company that they keep. And they really be wanting to do something else, but based on their environment or guilty by association, they will choose their desires. Look, I'm here to tell you, even if you got to do it by yourself, if that's the girl that you like, if that's the boy you like, or if that's the man that you like, if that's the woman that you like, if that's the gentleman you like, that's the lady you like, walk in your truth. We can't do this no more. And for those who are walking in their truth, you have to be assertive enough to see a person for who they are and be like, you know what? I can't do this no more. Like, I could be loyal, but I got to be loyal to myself. I could be down, but I got to be down to myself. You know what I'm saying? I could be 100, but I got to be 100 to myself. You out here chasing hoes, but you got kids that you're not taking care of. You out here going to the club, hanging out with old girl who keep 1,000 people at her house, but your kids don't look put together. Your kids don't know how to read. They don't even know who they are as individuals. You know what I'm saying? They acting up in school, So quit putting off the responsibility onto others. And those who are putting the responsibility off on you, stand your ground. Shame their ass. Shame them. No, we are walking in a time where we need to shame people. People need to be held accountable for their actions. And it's because during the whole colonial raid, regardless if it was destined to happen, we still allow so many things to happen because, I don't think that, fuck that. You don't have to think that it was okay. You don't have to try to assimilate. You don't have to be like, oh, I want to fit in. Nope. We're bringing a shame to you. Did you have sex with your daughter? Did you put your son out at 11 years old because you was mad because he looks like your father? You know, no. We have to be in our true authentic self and be creative enough to see what it is. It is what it is. And what it is, hey, check this out. We are not falling for the okie doke no more. We are being liberated from all the BS. We are being eliminated from all your tricks. That's why all these videos is coming out with all the people who was getting away with stuff for years. You be like, dang, that's why he was playing me, or that's why she was doing that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you're not from the real streets and from the real hood, like, you got your experience there. But some people literally have to tune into YouTube, TikTok, and all these media streams to see how to love a woman, to see how to love a boy, to see who's being played, and all those other, so we're not going to knock how a person learns. But if you're not out here learning what they say, you're taking. And guess what? All for all y'all who took, oh, guess what? Now we being liberated. We see your tricks. We're not falling for the okie doke no more. And y'all gonna be lonely. Gonna be, 35 years old looking like you 45, okay? 28 years old and like, what is up with that? Like, no, it's because, again, y'all keep forgetting this is spiritual warfare. I don't care if you atheist or not. How you feel is going to determine the chemicals in your body, okay? And it's going to go to certain parts of your body that you are. You know what I'm saying? Say if you're a Taurus, it's going to go to your throat, okay? Find out who you are. That's what this whole YouTube is thing. This is storms. It's betrayal. You need to find out what's in front of you, because who is in behind you is not who they say they was. You know what I'm saying? And you need to remove those masks and look at that. Look at it is for what it is. Fool you once, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's shame on me. That's Aunt Nasty. Anybody got an Aunt Nasty? It's straight up betrayal. And as soon as you see that, you're going to walk in miracles. But also, you could walk in a miracle and, honey, it wasn't even destined for you. So a lot of people are energy usurping great women, great men, and harvesting their greatness. No. Stop that. If a mug is not giving you exactly what you need from them, because it's about what you put yourself in their shoes, how they will react. It's cosmic power. It's the duality, sun and moon. Okay, I see how you operate. Okay, if I was you, I would have did that. So we could be compromising. But at the same time, are you really adding to my life? Would you really be bubbling had it not be for me? Let's really look at that. No, for real. It's cool to get on YouTube. It's cool to get money. It's cool to look good. But are you really grassroots in this? Are you really stumping on this? Are you really helping your sister, your niece, your nephew, your mother, yourself? What are you really doing other than projecting to say that you got it all? Honey, stop. Yeah, it's divine lineage, and the ancestors is coming through. They straight not playing no more. And the ancestors who come live in you, Ashe to Bobby Hemmett, who come live in you, who shine through you. If it's called for you to be a homeowner, go ahead and be that homeowner. If it's called for you to be a businesswoman, man, go ahead and do that. Step in that. Learn that. You know what I'm saying? You're only you are stopping you, no matter what it is. And don't get me wrong, it's hard. It is hard. It can be, right? But change your perspective, change your mindset, change your company, because we're in an awakening time, and I promise you, you're going to get left behind, and it's going to be a soul forgiveness that you're going to be forgiving yourself for forever, and we're going to be harvesting, okay? Because you didn't harvest, and you're going to be stuck in self-sabotage, exactly, and you're not going to be able to understand how to ground yourself, again, how to be balanced, how to, don't shun nobody because they like to walk in the grass with no bare feet. You're the idiot who's stopping the energy within your whole etheric field with the rubber soles on your body. Like, don't shun nobody because of your lack of ignorance. Again, lack of ignorance is the unwillingness to learn. So if you don't want to learn, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at somebody else because they learning. Like, please get on with your life. Because we shining over here, boo-boo. And again, don't compare yourself to the next person, because if you go into other countries, people live flawlessly and have zero of what you have in America. Yes, I am indigenous to America, regardless of what you heard. However, you can just pull up on YouTube, you can just look at different countries who some will call third world countries, and they live very minutely. They have a fraction of the things that you have and are happy. Happy. So what is it that's really making you happy, right? Okay, yeah, that person parked in your garage or whatever in your parking space. Learn to be alchemy. Learn to transmute that energy, and then when you step into the divine feminine, you understand you can transmute all energy because she is first. We are the only ones who can receive something. I don't care how your sexual preference is. Exit is for exit. But regardless, this is to receive. You know what I'm saying? To receive energy. The feminine energy is receiving. That's why those who are of the same sex embody the feminine energy to receive. So, regardless, receive all what is due to you, even if it's negative, even if someone, you just like, for instance, I'm running into this right now. This is what made me get back on Healing the Hood, because I'm like, too much is happening. Oh no, I'm staying and dodging, suck it free, but too much is going on. I went to Mongolian Grill, and on my solo return, I went there on the first day. I was going to the movies, and I was like, okay, I'm hungry before the movie started. Got my food, because the melanated man was just so embracing. Hey, Nubian Queen, it made me come back. Not even knowing he was going to be there the next day. It's just kind of like Chick-fil-A, for those who we used to eat meat. That wow experience, my pleasure. It's just like, what else do you pleasure? Like, Jesus. Okay, but anyways, so that wow experience made me come back. So this second time, I came back, spent $30 on lunch. Okay, so I got some crab ragoons, and then I got my regular stuff to be cooked on the wok. So as I'm eating it, and I'm smashing this stuff, right? So as I get halfway through my meal, I notice there's a freaking hair in my crab ragoon. So automatically, if you from the hood, automatically you lost your appetite, and you might not just technically got to be from the hood, but I'm speaking on experience. I don't want to eat. I got an attitude. I'm about to throw all of this up. I want all my money back. Period. Point blank. Before I turn up in this thing. But whatever. So, long story short, I asked for a refund, but because I'm starting to get so disgusted, it's coming through my throat. I gotta throw up. I go to the bathroom. I'm early. Come to find out, this Khadijah hoe, only gonna give me a refund on my crab ragoons. Yeah, I'm learning Taekwondo. Like, what about consumer laws? After 2020, it's just like, I'm making money, who cares? Bitch, I'm the one giving it to you. That's who cares. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all gotta stop being pushovers. Stop being pushovers. Stop letting people get away with stuff. I'm not saying just put yourself in harm's way, but stop being people get away with stuff. If you're a manager and you've been seeing somebody milking the clock, and there's somebody else who's a single mother or a single father who really needs this bonus, and blah, 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 blah. Use your managerial skills wisely. Use them wisely, excuse me, y'all. But use them wisely, no, for real. I don't care what position you have. I don't care if you're a manager. I don't care if you're a neighbor. I don't care if you're a father. Don't take advantage of what's in front of you, because I'm here trying to tell y'all, 2030 is coming real quick, and y'all think everything that you see right now is exactly how it is, and watch real quickly how it can be all taken from you, or how quickly it'll all be shifted into a whole nother realm that you won't even see coming. So let's just go ahead and dish out the rest of the cards. Okay, radical rebirth, exactly. This is what we are doing for all those who are on that great balance that great feminine balance of understanding what cosmic play is at play right now. Um, Being exposed, everybody's hand is being exposed, and I'm not for the media, so I'm not even gonna give energy to anything that's on uh, social media. But everything is being exposed. Like I said, all you liars who've been getting away with things, cheaters, deceivers, all of that, people who've been abusing people, racism, all of that is getting away with. So just understand divine intuition. Understand that someone is talking to you. It could be your higher self, it could be your ancestors, it could be your spiritual guides, whatever it is that you believe in. Understand that if you feel something is wrong, go for that. If you feel something is right, stand on that. If you feel it's time to act, you need to stand on. I don't care if you don't have the money for it. Act on that. I don't care if you do have the money for it. Go give that to somebody that doesn't. I don't care if you have the vision for it. Pair it with somebody that has the capital. Like, put yourself in places that you never will put yourself in before. It's time to act, and if you don't act, you'll regret it. I say to all those.